YouTube universe? It's me, Too Much Gear Guy here, and today I got another piece of gear I'm going to talk about that I may or may not use. That gear is the Snow Peak Takibi Tarp Hexa Mid. And if you are familiar with the outdoor gear world, you know Snow Peak. And Snow Peak makes some very high quality camping gear, furniture, etc. But they are very pricey. And this thing is, I think, $450. I got it on sale at REI. I think it was $300, maybe lower. So I had no choice, had to pick it up. But I got it for one special reason, and it has a very unique feature. It's a fire resistant inner tarp. So you can hook up an inner tarp that connects to the outer tarp and then have a fire pit going underneath it without worrying about your tarp catching on fire or a bunch of burn holes or anything like that. So for that reason, that's why I got this tarp. I'm definitely planning on using it for some car camping trips, some winter trips, and another reason I wanted to make this video is because I've never put up a tarp this size, so I wanted to see how I could do it solo, because typically with a tarp this big, it's 19.5 pounds, covers some pretty good area. You need two people. With that being said, I don't always have somebody with me when I go camping, so I wanted to make sure I could set this up on my own, and there wasn't too many videos out there that showed in great detail how to set this tarp up. So today I'm going to show you how I set it up and hopefully give you a little bit more details on how to set up this tarp solo. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you let me know. I'll try to get answers to you right away. But enjoy the video, and as always, thanks for watching. All right, welcome to the program, folks. Here I'm going to show you the setup, what's in the bag, and a couple close-ups here and there so you can get some more details. But the bag itself is fairly heavy. This isn't a light-duty tarp. Good quality bag, good zipper, handles are strong. As you can see, that's the outer tarp and the inner tarp, which is the fire-resistant tarp. Couple lines, guide-ons, ropes, whatever you want to call them. And then, of course, you have some really nice steel stakes, which are typically not the kind you get with most tarps. You get the cheap aluminum stakes that bend easily, but these are very heavy duty, which for the size of this tarp you're going to need for sure. Next up is the tarp rope or guide-on line, whatever you want to call it. Odd color. I'm not sure why they used like a rainbow white, but they're still pretty good quality. And here are the tarp / tent poles made out of aluminum. Pretty good quality. Each pole is 3 pieces. Also take note, both poles are 2 different sizes. One is I believe 240 centimeter and the other one's a 290 centimeter pole. Didn't really notice after I set it up, but probably more so for future setup. If I'm going to use a fire, I'm probably going to want to have that higher pole on that side to keep a safer distance from the fire itself. So, yep, just make a note of that. I believe according to the directions, it tells you to lay the poles out to a 90-degree angle to the ridge line. I remember, as you can see here, trying to figure out what the next step is, but I watched another YouTube video, of course, and I don't know if it was by Snow Peak, could have been, but they suggest that you lay out the poles the way I just did there. And this basically will help you identify where you need to put your stakes, and then give you a good tension when you first put the tarp up. I highly suggest following that, especially if you're putting up this tarp alone. All right, here is the roof sheet tapes. There's a red one, a black one, and this is what you're going to use to clip in the inner tarp. They're color coded to clip into the outer tarp, as you'll see here in a little bit. But make sure you do follow those color codes. And here you'll see the guide on line rope. I had to make a simple figure 8 knot in the center of it, and that's what you're gonna put on the tarp pole tip, and that's what's gonna basically give you that tension initially, and then you're gonna use the same line and go tie those out to each stake that we previously put in the ground. And here I tried to give you a little bit of a close-up of these steps, basically on how the tape, line, and tarp should be arranged on the tip of the tarp pole. All right, another expert tip for you. Before you put the or attempt to put the tarp up with the pole, you probably want to have the guide on line attached to the stakes first. This will give you the tension you need to keep that pole in place, and again, especially if you're doing this solo, you're going to need that tension up there first. So don't follow me. Just take my advice though. Whoa, we got some breaking news here, folks. Breaking news here. Let's see. What does this say? Don't always follow what you see on TV, especially if it's a guy named Too Much Gear. Too Much Gear. Bobby, is this right? Too Much Gear Guy? We're talking about Too Much Gear Guy, the gear expert. Okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Don't always follow what you see on TV. Thanks for joining. well, as you can see, you can do this solo. It takes a little bit more work, but here I'm just using the tensioners that are actually on the ropes already, so no need to create any additional knots or buy any extra equipment. They do have the tensioners on the ropes already, and just set yourself up. You can see a little diagram here of the rope placement that they recommend. As always, you can make adjustments as needed, but yeah, pretty simple. Once you get the poles up, it's just staking everything out from here and making adjustments. Now this is where I started to attach the inner tarp, and again, this is where you want to make sure you're following the correct color code for the clips here, and I'll show you here in a second a little close up, but the inner tarp actually has some bungee type cords attached to it already with the something like a S hook, and you'll attach these to the inner rings of the outer tarp. This was pretty easy, not very difficult at all. As you can see, fairly simple process. And that's pretty much it, folks. Everything's set up. Here's a quick walk around just so you can get a better idea what it looks like set up completely. Again, not the easiest tarp to put up solo, but can be done. Just takes a little bit more time and effort, maybe some planning. But hope you enjoyed the setup. I know when I was looking at this tarp, there wasn't too many videos that showed the details of it, especially on how to set it up. So hopefully this helped you out. Of course, in the future, I plan on showing some videos of the tarp in use. It's a very unique tarp in the fact that you can actually have a fire underneath it. A lot of different kinds of warnings, but it's going to be, I think, a game changer during some winter camps here in the future. So thanks for watching. Any questions, any comments, you know the deal. Leave them below, and see you on the next one.